Welcome to another episode 17 to be exact. Joe with Joe, Joseph Gregory here with Chris Rouse.
What's good?
Man, everything is good right now.
I'm
As
sure it is.
as my man Ludacris would say, before Ludacris would say, Georgia, Georgia, Georgia,
They did it.
Georgia.
They finally did it, man.
Just letting all our viewers know this is a football only show today. We are covering Black Monday, covering the NFL playoffs, and we're covering the Georgia Bulldogs ending their 41-year drought, winning the national
Mm.
championship last night over Alabama 33-18. But I would like to say, Platinum Blend, I only have two Platinum Blends, and one of them is for David Bennett. You know who David Bennett is?
I'm sure you're gonna tell us.
David Bennett is the patient that just was transplanted and received a pig's heart.
Mm.
That happened at the University of Maryland the hospital over the weekend. He received a pig's heart. Said the heart that he has now, he's 57 years old, but his heart is like in very bad condition. So he was transplanted with the pig's heart. And right now he's still doing well.
Okay. Well, I like to see that though. Good. That's good news to start it off. Platinum blend.
Would you, before I get to, well, you know, my second platinum blend is going to be Georgia, obviously. But before I
Right.
ask you that, is there any animal whose heart you would like to be? I mean, to keep you alive and go keep you alive with like a hamster's kidney or something? Or
Nah, give me give me a lion's heart. Give me a lion's heart just because that sound cool.
and I'm also
Chris
thinking that
Rouse, he literally has the heart of a lion.
now I'm not going to get on you about your stature, but you know, a lion is a pretty big animal. So how big of a lion heart? I mean, how much of that would take up like your whole
I'm cool with
abdomen
that.
and chest
I don't
cavity,
care.
wouldn't it?
I don't
Just be
care. Hey,
walking.
maybe I'll be taller. I don't know. Maybe my torso will grow. I don't know.
I can just I can just imagine you walking around just roaring for no reason. Good morning, Chris.
Just wake
Good
up.
morning. Good morning, my sister. Monica Smiley is in our chat.
What's
Um,
up, Monica?
and like I
What's up,
said,
Brandon?
man,
What's
hold
up,
on one
Brandon?
second. Hold on one second.
All right, I got you, bro. Anyway, yeah, I can tell he was hot over there, boy. He was sweating. He was over there sweating,
Why
man.
is Brandon shouldn't Brandon be in school? He shouldn't be in the chat.
He not in the chat. I was just saying good morning to him because he got, his GM got fired. Well, his GM
Oh,
retired, so he got a bit of a change there.
oh
He
wow.
says good
Oh my
morning in the
God.
chat.
Oh my
My
God.
plat, my platinum blend is with you, man. I'm with the Georgia Bulldogs on winning the national championship. That was a hell of a game last night, man.
hmm
I was thoroughly entertained for all 4 hours. That felt like that damn game was on. So, by the way, Brandon is at school. Just got that confirmed in the chat.
Okay.
I was just saying, shout out to him.
Yeah, man. He did. I can't. Well, let's just get into it because Brandon did call me after the Ringo interception. Him and his mother called me, and they just knew I was at home crying, and I was.
I bet, yeah, I knew you was
I
too,
almost
actually.
was. I almost was.
Yo,
You know,
hey, bro, I jumped in the chat after Stetson threw that TD pass. I was like, hey, he
be
dropped that
ready.
bitch in the basket. He dropped
Hey,
that
you
bitch
know
in the
how many
basket.
times you just try to get past this bully and they just keep on denying you year after year. If it ain't the SEC championship, it's national championships, it's Tua coming off the bench for Hurts. It's just we've just been trying to get over this hill for so long. SEC championship 37 days ago, blew out again, 41-24. So everybody says, okay, well, what's gonna happen to Georgia when they play Alabama again? They're gonna get stomped. No,
including me. Including
no.
me. I even said that. I see it when I believe it. I believe it now.
And
Believe it now.
before And also, I want to thank Alabama for giving us a standard, giving us a mountaintop to try to reach, try to,
Yeah.
developing, letting us know y'all been number one all year. We get to this SEC championship, we gonna stomp y'all, and we gonna let y'all know y'all still ain't good enough yet. It's still another
Mm.
championship level that y'all need to go to. And we went to that level last night on defense, on special teams, on offense. I mean, Georgia wins 33-18. Like you said, a wildly entertaining game. Field goals in the first half,
Right.
9-6, just wouldn't let good pressure on Bryce Young last night. He did miss a couple of throws, but he also had some key drops especially after Jamison Williams went down with that knee injury in the second quarter, sort of limited his targets. But they was, it's still Alabama. They still balling. They still got Brian Robinson, who's like a freight train. That man is like I don't know what he's ranked amongst the running backs coming into the draft, but man, he looked like how you see Najee Harris sort of punking people in the NFL. He was running. He's been running through arm. He's been punking people in these playoffs. Cincinnati 2 weeks ago, and he did that a little bit with Georgia last night, but they was able to sort of corral him and keep him contained. He only had 68 yards on 22 carries. So, but man, Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
The kid that nobody wanted, the kid that wouldn't transfer. 17 of 28, 224 yards, couple of touchdowns, including a go-ahead to Donnie Mitchell, then hit another one to Bowers. That tight end, like, he's just going to be a beast when he get to the league. My God. And yes, man, they finally got it done. Held Bryce Young. I can't say they held him. He man had 357 yards.
I was gonna say I can't say they held him. He had a good game.
Yeah, 389 yards, 2 interceptions. They did get some pressure on him in some key moments. And I thought like the key moment of the game almost was really when Alabama had that good drive to start them off in the second half, and it's 3rd and goal. And Tyndall comes and makes the big sack, forces him to kick a field goal, and they block the field goal. And then they come back with the Cook run, about 69 yards to set them up for that touchdown to make it 13-9. At that point, which I still knew the game wasn't over yet, because it's still Alabama, but it did give me a little bit of, okay, we here. So when they make it 13-12, we hold them down still. Okay, we hold them. We in control.
You know where I thought the game was over at? I thought the game was over at
the fumble
18 at 18-13. 18-13 when Bryce hit he was rolling. Like Bryce was on the run from like 4 people.
And he hit the tight end.
Latu.
Yeah,
he hit Latu
right across the middle.
For the touchdown.
No, I was at home.
I thought that was
damn.
it. Yeah, I thought that was it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, man, you can't let Bama get up. This starting to look like the old national title game. But Stetson Bennett said, "No."
Like he said, that's not gonna be my fault. That's not gonna be my defining moment. I'm not gonna be the one that mess up our championship chance. We finna get this done, and that's what he did. Dropped that dime to Mitchell. Made you hit me on the chest like, yo. He dropped that bitch
in. I know. I'll tell you what I said. I said he dropped that bitch in the bucket. Like he put that right.
Yes, he did.
He dropped that bitch in the bucket, bro. Like that was a perfect throw. When he threw that, I jumped up. I was like, ooh, okay. I was like, ee, when he threw that.
This ain't your same old. Make you feel like this ain't your same old Georgia when he hit you with that, huh?
Right. That's what I was about to say. Stetson Bennett was like, man, y'all keep talking about how he used to lose to Bama. Well, guess what? This ain't that, bro.
Change that narrative tonight.
Like,
change that narrative tonight. And then, of course, it's Alabama, so you still don't feel like they're all the way done, even when it's 26-18. And I'm just, man, something got to happen. Something got to happen. And then when Ringo caught that ball, and I was just like, go, boy. Go, boy. That's how I be at home when I'm watching games.
Did you jump like Kirby? Did you leap like Kirby Smart?
Nah. If I would have did that, let me tell you, I live on the 3rd floor. So if I would have did that, we would have had a lot of calls from my neighbors. I probably would have knocked somebody light bulbs or light fixtures out their ceiling or whatever, because I would have came down hard. You know what I'm saying?
He got hired in John Morant when he got that block the other night. Honestly, he taller than he hired him Ringo. Look at that.
Man, he probably didn't even know he could jump that high. He probably got kids that's jealous, like, Daddy, you didn't jump that high when I graduated. You jumping this high for a man getting an interception?
Hey, dog, you know how many like high school athletes like, damn, I wish I had springs like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Like, come on, dog. Man, bro. I gotta say, man, my overall assessment, I thought I was probably could have been one of the best national title games ever had, it actually came down to like the last play or something like that. But because of the pick, that take a little bit from it. But overall, great national title game. I mean, I couldn't have asked for more out of an SEC game. I mean, we had blitzing, we had a field goal fest for one half, we had good quarterback play. The running game was vicious. I thought Zamir White is Zamir, right?
Yeah, Zamir White.
Yeah, Zamir White had an amazing game. Straight bowl. He was like a bowling ball the whole
13
game.
carries, 84 yards, the touchdown. Ooh. He was just carrying people yards after contact. He was a monster. Um,
And Bama
Stetson Bennett.
not weak at all. Bama not weak at
Uh,
all. But they look like some
even
babies trying to tackle White, man.
even with all the injuries, you still had Bryce Young and
Yeah.
big shout out to Will Anderson. My God,
Mm-hmm.
Will Anderson for Alabama. My God, he was. If Georgia would have lost that game, I could have seen myself having nightmares all night about Will Anderson. I could have been jumping up in the middle of my sleep in cold sweats.
Will Anderson.
That's how. Man, that guy was unblockable, but we found a way to get it done. George Pickens, 52 yards receiving, had the big catch. It really spread the ball around on offense with Pickens and Mitchell and Bowers and who they wanted to go to. And man, just spread it around, an all-around team effort. Defense was terrific. N'Kobe Dean and Jones and those guys, like I say, helping keeping Robinson under some sort of wraps, didn't let him dominate the game, and also put pressure on Bryce Young in those obvious passing situations. Bryce Young is one of those players, and if you get time, he's gonna pick you apart. It don't matter that Michie down, don't matter if Jameson Williams down. I felt like if he had time, he was gonna pick us apart. And that was a big drop by number 84. I believe that's the field goal, and they kicked it to make it 13-12. That was a huge drop because he hit Buddy like they say, he kind of wrong-handed the catch, even though he made a big catch later on in the game. At that point of the game, that was a huge drop. I was like, they got in there, and they replayed it, and I thought, yeah, they did get in. He should have caught that.
Bama had a few plays like that though. I think it was like 3rd and 10, and Bryson threw one down the sideline. And the dude could have probably one-handed it, and he couldn't reel it in.
He couldn't get both hands up. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they had a few plays like that. But I thought other than the Stetson Bennett touchdown, the biggest play to me was that fumble recovery because that was so nonchalant. That was so fit. That play was so fitting of that game. It was like I don't know what to call this, dude.
It was almost like, and as a Georgia fan watching this, you're like, oh, you done played this good. This not finna turn now on this. Because when I first think, I'm like, that's incomplete, right? That's incomplete. Yeah. And they started piecing everything together. And they say the ball out of his hand. They say, well, he got to be out of bounds, right? They're like, no, he's not out of bounds.
No, he's in. He was definitely in, right?
And I'm just like, really? This is
at that first angle. At that first angle, I thought he was out though.
Yeah, like the ball wasn't quite there. Like, there's no way. Then they got the piecing together. You're like, oh snap! Technology is gonna get me.
Right.
Right. Technology is gonna get me. And wow, unbelievable game.
I think it was CBS Sports. They had the best caption on that. It is like truly a game of inches. I thought that was the best caption.
Definitely a game of inches.
Game of inches, but. Salute to Georgia, man. Great win. Hey, I said I believe it when I see it. Hey, I believe it, man. Shout out to Stetson Bennett, man.
You, Josh Buckhalter, and my cousin Mikhail, a.k.a. Greg Coleman on Facebook, who probably watching this and will watch us later on, whatever. Hey, I told y'all. He said, cuz, you really think Georgia can be Alabama? I ain't hesitate. I said, yeah. You heard? I said, Y-E-A-H. Yeah. You think you can beat them? Yeah. That's what I said.
Hey, shout out to David Pollock on ESPN because in the beginning of the season he said they would lose the SEC title and then win the Natty. He was all the way right, and I remember him when he was playing at Georgia too. So shout out to him.
He was a monster. He definitely a monster.
I remember he used to be back in the video games when you had to actually put the names in there and all that.
Oh man.
Yeah, I remember him, man. Like people from like 2003 to like 2008. I remember them because I used to actually put their names in there. So.
Okay. You don't remember me though. You didn't know me then.
I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't lie when you was a cougar, dog.
Oh boy. Did you say when I was a cougar?
Yeah, you was a cougar, man. I wouldn't lie, bro.
I'm gonna tell my wife. My wife thinks very highly of you. Huh?
You didn't play for the Cougars?
I didn't play for the Cougars. I went to the school of Cougars. Okay, I had to get that right, but I never played for them.
Hey, real quick, speaking of which, Platinum Blend, by the way, I forgot about these. I don't know how I forgot. It's like I be in the building.
I mean, they never win a conference game, right?
Right. Platinum Blend, bro. Platinum Blend of both Chicago State men's and women's basketball. They both got conference win. They first conference win for men for men, it's been 2 years. For women, it's been 3 years. Women won yesterday 64-57 over Seattle. Aaliyah Collins, baby, 26 strong, baby. And
they got it.
Against California Baptist on Saturday.
You celebrating California Baptist. I know that was hard to do.
You beat us. California Baptist is 10-4, and they got a guy named Taryn Armstrong who's from Australia. and he's
He's very
almost
good.
averaging a triple double. Now he hardly played because he had an injury, but he's averaging almost a
Hey,
triple 10, 7, and 6.
I'm not gonna lie. School sound like a church. School sound like a
Yeah,
church. I mean, school
I mean,
California Baptist sound like a church.
I
But
agree.
but 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 you beat them. They in the league. You beat them. I'm happy you did do it. I mean, I got to have like an extra week out of school or something. You get 2 conference wins from each side after about 2 years of futility in the conference. I mean, dang.
Hey, and we shooting for some more tomorrow. We shooting for some more on Thursday, and I'm gonna be on ESPN Plus. Come look at your boy.
Come look at your
Women's
boy.
matchup. Women's
Uh-oh.
matchup. Women's
Watch
matchup.
out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, yeah. Yesterday was Black Monday in the NFL. Let me stop. It actually was a Black Sunday because
Like Black Sunday.
we had Saturday games. So Denver played Saturday. They lost. They played their hearts out to try to beat the Chiefs until that big fumble
Can they
recovery
not? Why
stupid
can't they
score
call
by
it?
Nick Bolton.
Why can't they call it Pink Slip Monday? I just feel like it's more
Because
appropriate.
I don't know. I guess Black Monday is just like I don't know. It's just the traditional term. I guess you don't feel like. I mean, I guess you don't feel like you're in a fest. No, pink is like a festive color. No, pink. No,
I
pink is
mean,
so good. Think about pink,
okay,
what it
then
represents.
okay, then why do you get it? Then why do you give a pink slip when you fire somebody? Then
I don't know, but just think about this. Think
Wait,
about pink
come on, man.
and how Cameron used it at the height of his era with the Dipset. Think
That's a good
about
point.
pink and how
I
we
give you that one.
think about
I give you that one.
how we think about breast cancer awareness. We use pink, right? Such a
I give you
festive
that.
color. Think about the Pink
I give you
Panther, even. Pink lemonade. So I guess maybe Pink Slip Monday, maybe, and also it's kind of long. Black Monday, you just feel like, oh shit. Hey boy, tomorrow.
PSM.
If your team's 6-11, tomorrow Black Monday.
You can
So
give it a cool acronym. Give it a cool acronym. All right, it's PSM. What's good with PSM this week? And it's all, and then it's an easy joke right there. Just flip a few letters.
I'm gonna go with black. I'm going with black. Going with Black Monday. Or like you said, don't choke. No, I'm not. I'm trying to make you laugh, but I don't want you to choke. All right,
Pink Slip Monday. It look like these teams PMSing.
Oh, come on, man. That's tough.
I mean, it's an easy joke right there. Come on, man. It's much better. Much more
Vic
entertaining.
Fangio was fired on Sunday after the Broncos lost their 5 of the last 6 and 4 of their last 5 after they were in wild card contention pretty solidly, then finished terribly. Then yesterday, Minnesota's combination of Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer, Chicago's combination of Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy, and the surprising one yesterday, Miami's Brian Flores, all were let go yesterday.
Hey, can I add one? Can I add one that was also surprising?
Yes.
Joe Judge stays in New York.
Well, Gettleman retired on Sunday or Saturday or whatever. So they're going to get a new GM. So when the new GM gets there, I'm sure, I mean, he's got to look over this Joe Judge thing. But since we're in Chicago, it came down yesterday at 8:18 a.m. That's when I got the news. I was I just took one of my daughters to school, and I was on my way to get a smoothie from Smoothie King, and I got the news. The Bears have relieved Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace of their duties at Hallis Hall. Matt Nagy, coach of the year, his first year here, he was 12-4. Everybody thought he was a godsend, and then it all terribly went wrong. Starting, what's up, brother Rodder Reflex? How about the Raiders? The Raiders look at good morning. The Raiders, they don't tie with anybody. The Raiders play to win. The Raiders. But yeah, so then everything fell terribly by the wayside for Nagy. 8-8 a couple of years. Went to the playoffs last year because they expanded the field to 7 and came back this year.
I mean, that's really why they went. The only reason they went.
Yeah.
That's really the only reason they went.
Andy Dalton picked up Andy Dalton in the offseason. Drafted Justin Fields, started him probably way before I thought he was ready. When did I say start Justin Fields? Didn't I say start in week 12 or week 13?
I said don't start him at all unless injury.
So Justin Fields now has a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's 2-8. And that's where he's got to go to this next regime with. Has Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace relieved of their duties. got to figure. Okay, so who's going to be the next coach of the Bears? I got to figure everybody's clamoring for a guy, or clamoring for somebody that's going to be able to get the most out the kid, Justin Fields, right? Is that the top priority of the coach? I mean, I don't think.
But who is that? But who is that though? Who can that be?
Well,
Like, we've
right
heard a
now
lot of names.
I know the Bears have asked for permission to talk to both of the Buffalo coordinators, Brian Dable and Leslie Frazier. They've also asked permission. I'm sorry, to talk to both of the Buccaneers coordinators, Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich.
I'm cool on. I can tell you like this: as a fan, I'm cool.
Okay,
I'm cool
that's
on.
what I want to hear.
I'm cool as a fan. I'm cool on Bowles. Jim Harbaugh, like, that's a good headline name, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I really want that.
And can I hear your reasoning why you're cool on Bowles?
Because I mean, I think he's a great defensive coach, but I just feel like what we saw with the Jets, that might be his ceiling. And that's okay. That's okay. Like, just like with Matt Nagy, offensive coordinator might be his ceiling. You know, he may go somewhere else, be the best offensive coordinator in the league. But, you know, sometimes, you know, head coach, everybody's not cut out to be a head coach in the NFL. So I just think not to say Todd Bowles can't do it elsewhere. I just don't think he would be the guy for Chicago. I'd be interested in hearing Leslie Frazier. Jim Harbaugh, I'm a little iffy on, because it's like, that's a headline grab, but is that really what you want? And then from the outside looking in, from like one more guy, it's like, it was somebody else you said. I was like, actually, he might not be too bad either.
Brian Dable.
Jim Caldwell.
Oh, Jim Caldwell. I said, yeah.
Yeah, bringing a veteran coach. So that's kind of where I'm at. Those three out of three, I'm kind of most interested in right
now. I think the most, to me, on the outside looking in, on somebody who don't give a hell about what y'all do, don't give a rat's ass about what y'all do, I would think at those names, if I was on the outside looking in, I think the most interesting name to me would be Leslie Frazier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's a guy from the heyday. He knows the pulse of Chicago. He's going to know what it takes here. He's going to be his hard nosed. He's probably going to accentuate. You think you got a good defense now with Roquan Smith? You got a few building blocks with Johnson. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Hicks and Mack and those contract situations. But I think he's a guy that knows the pulse of the city, and I think you can get a defensive minded coach as long as they got a plan for the offense.
I mean, was just about to say that.
Defensive minded coach, and I got a dope offensive coordinator who I think got some wrinkles or whatever. I think you can roll with that coming into Chicago. The Leslie Frazier one, I think.
Also with that, like a defensive-minded coach, I feel like that would fit the Bears anyway, because that defense is ass juice in the secondary, especially. So I think you could definitely use a defensive-minded head coach. And honestly, I have a theory that a defensive-minded coach might be better for the Bears, because, I mean, if you got a defensive-minded coach, how would you want to stack your defense against your star quarterback? You know, you can give him those looks in practice. You can work with him a little tighter. You can help him get a better understanding of the game. So I feel like that would work for the Bears too if they go with Frazier.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting, because you know there's going to be more coordinators coming. Probably both of my coordinators probably going to be up for some interviews. Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore. You're probably going to have Eric Bieniemy looked at. You know you're going to have Brian Flores looked at again. Oh, what are our thoughts on Owen Cruz and George McCaskey having words? Rouse?
That's from Rod. That's from Rod.
I actually started learning of this morning as I was listening to some radio, some ESPN 1000. I did not know.
Fill me in, because I have no clue what he's talking. When I saw that, what the hell is he talking about?
Owen Cruz says in 2018, I believe, was it 2018 or 2019? I know Rod's gonna help me out. He says the Bears offered him $15 an hour to help their offensive line. He didn't say coach him, but offered him $15 an hour. Like, you want to work at Target, work at Walmart, and you come help offensive line.
Hey, let me tell you this, bro. That's about what I used to make at Best Buy.
Right. So McCaskey was, I believe, was asked about these. He was asked about Olin Cruz yesterday in his hour-long soliloquy, which was like much ado about nothing. I had no idea what he was talking about. Heaping all this praise on Ted Phillips. It was crazy. But he was asked about Olin Cruz, and he was like, I'm sure he's going to mention this whenever he goes into his Hall of Fame speech or whatever. But, you know, it's kind of crazy that you would offer. I mean, Olin Cruz is like one of the
best O-lineman we ever had.
I mean, that's a guy. He go to any bar in Chicago and won't have to buy himself
Right.
anything. You know what I'm
Right, we
saying?
know, like, dog, we know Olin Cruz, like, dude, like, bro, you don't really get to know O linemen like that in football because they wear buckets and it's not the most flashiest position. But people know Olin Cruz in Chicago, like that dude, him, James Big Cat Williams. That's two O linemen that could walk through Chicago and be like, oh, you just play for the Bears, like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's two guys right there.
Right. So I don't know what George McCaskey is getting out of having words with one of the all-time Bears. I would just concentrate on the GM and the head coaching searches, which is really what he should be doing.
Let me ask you this: how would you feel if the guy that's about to hire your GM said, and I quote, "I'm not really a football guy. I'm just a fan."
I would be scared as shit.
Thank you. That's what I
You see
feel
this
right
shirt?
now.
That's Leatherface. You see that shirt right there? That's Leatherface. That would be Leatherface coming to me, coming in my room with me and my wife here, and we don't have any weapons. And Leatherface is already in the room with the chainsaw, and we don't have no room here. George Bessie called Owen a liar, and Owen said George is full of shit, and he's the reason former Bears don't mess with him.
That's some Rider Reflex in the chat.
I mean, and that's interesting, Rob, because we were just talking about Leslie Frazier being a possible candidate. He's a former Bear, so
Bear,
would this
former
be?
Bear.
I mean, would this take him out of the running? Do you think the Bears could do something to try to, I guess, talk Ron Rivera out of coming from the Washington football team, coming over there? I mean, I don't know how many ex-Bears that you got that would probably be prime coaching candidates anyway.
Mike Singletary, you want to bring Mike Singletary back? You want to try him? I thought that was the only other time I want to see the Bears get an actual ex-Bear to coach because I thought he was
Mike Singletary.
For a little bit, I thought he was decent with the Niners.
Can't win with him.
Football. I need football players. I need football players, dog.
That's what he needs.
Hey, how about this guy though? How about him? How about Brian Flores?
I mean, Brian Flores is a name that I think would be, he had Miami going in the right direction. Nobody saw that coming. They win 7 games in a row. They get blown out in Tennessee to get eliminated. They do end the season on a strong note. They beat New England on Sunday, 33-24. They ended up sweeping the Patriots for the year. But then he gets fired because we're hearing some type of philosophical differences with top tiers of the management. I've heard something about him and Tua wasn't seeing eye to eye about some things. So it's kind of a crazy situation. But I can't see Brian Flores probably being unemployed probably past this week. I mean,
I can't either because that was my pick to win the East this year, man. That was my pick to win the East.
There are 6 jobs open right now. I don't know what to say about the Raiders job because their interim coach has them in the playoffs. You also have the Jacksonville Jaguars open. The Broncos are open. And you have the Bears and the Vikings. And I would be very, very surprised.
Hey, hold on. Wait a minute. Look who we got in the chat. We got shooters in the chat over. The shooter.
Oh, wow.
The cameraman. The shooter man. He came.
Do you think the Bears will benefit from a younger coach versus a vet like Frazier?
Nah. Well, I don't know. That's a slippery slope because you just kind of did that with Matt Nagy, and you didn't really get what you thought you was gonna get out of a modern-minded offensive coach. Because those were the exact words I used to use when we hired Matt Nagy. We got an offensive-minded head coach. So, I mean, you really just kind of need the best guy. I feel like I'm gonna go with what I said earlier, where I think a defensive-minded head coach would be a little bit better. Because ideally, you could stack the defenses against Justin the way he probably will see him every week. What do you want to see out of your quarterback? Okay, I'm gonna stack the defense as if I want to take his strengths away from him, so that way in practice he can work on his strengths. At least that's what I would think he would do as a defensive coach, because you can probably see the field a little bit better than maybe an offensive guy like Matt Nagy.
Like me myself, I spoke about Leslie Frazier earlier. I would like Leslie Frazier because it's a pulse that you also got to know about Chicago. Did you hear all the sporting events for the last 5 months? Cubs game, fire Nagy. You go to the Bulls game, fire Nagy. You don't want your kids going all around. Hey, I went to the Bulls game last night and they were talking about fire your dad. You don't want to be going.
You don't want them doing that. You don't want them doing it at your kids' high school games neither, because they was doing that at his high school games too.
Oh, come on, man! You don't want that going on.
But still,
I just think Leslie Frazier has a little bit better pulse on the city and what it means to be a Bear. And you got to realize, the Bear fans, they are diehards, loyal to a fault, probably. Like I'm loyal to the Cowboys.
No, ain't no probably. Ain't no damn probably. Yes.
Okay.
Loyal to a
All right.
fault.
All right.
Loyal to a fault.
Okay. All right,
Ain't
Mr.
no damn
Roseland. Don't come at me. But yeah, I would go with a guy like Frazier. That would be my personal thing. Frazier, we'll see who else becomes available in this coaching portal right now as teams get eliminated and go on to the playoffs.
Let me say something about Flores, man. I feel like Miami kind of gave up on this one, maybe because they felt like, hey, maybe if we get some of that Belichick tree, we'll win now. Don't work like that, bro. Especially when you had the number 1 pick when you hired that dude. So you got to give it some time to work out.
If you're a Bear fan, I tell you right now, breaking news in 10 minutes, the Bears hire Brian Flores. What would you think about that?
I'd be cool with that. I mean, because that's kind of like in the middle of what we just talked about. It's kind of a younger guy, a younger defensive minded guy, and then he's proven that he can work with a young quarterback, see Tua. And then honestly, I liked what Miami did last year. I know they didn't make the playoffs, but it still was a good look. I liked it enough to pick them to win this year. It didn't happen, but I like what he did in Miami with Tua and making them at least look decent.
Is there any like off the radar selection that we haven't met? A Ryan Day from Ohio State or somebody that we haven't mentioned that you could say that the Bears would get, and they say, okay, you get that guy, and they hit it out the park. It's Pete Carroll's time over in Seattle. I don't know if you would want to do that.
PJ Fleck.
Minnesota.
I don't know about. I just remember one year he was a hot coaching candidate in college, so I'm just going with that.
Right. You might want to go try to get Brett Bielema from Illinois. I don't know what you want to try to do here.
Right.
Is there any hit it out the park, like home run? You just like, oh, if we get him, we throwing a parade. Is there any guy out there like that right now?
Nah, not off the head because first off, you got to get a GM. So you got to get a GM first to even figure out who gonna hire the dude. So we got to get that figured out.
So is everybody's favorite, Mr. Monday Night Football himself, Louis Riddick. I believe you heard us in our chat yesterday, me, you, and Justin. If you always just hear him do a Bears game, he just sounds like he want to be here.
He sound like he wants unacceptable. So bad.
This stuff they need to be doing this and that with Justin Fields. They can't put, he just feels like he wants to do this. And plus, he's done it before. It's been a while since he's done it, but you can just hear the competitive stuff. You can't compete with ESPN and Brian Greasy all your life.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I think Louis Riddick low key that low key be his resume sometimes, bro. Man, Matt Nagy's he's just not doing it right with Justin. See, if I had Justin Fields, this is what I would do. He's trying to do that. Like he like, hey man, coach, GM, I can do one. Just put me there, bro.
Just put me there.
Yeah, put me there, man.
I would be
afraid of the cold. I was in Philly.
Right. I would be surprised if he doesn't have a job within the next couple of weeks or so. Louis Riddick and Brian Flores. Those are the names. I don't know if they're gonna go somewhere together, but I would be surprised if we get to out these playoffs without them having a job.
Real quick, man, it's the last week we're gonna get to talk about Dan Campbell. Did we get anything good out of his his post?
You know what?
This week.
And you better not be laughing at Dan Campbell. You know why you can't laugh at Dan Campbell? Because he beat the Packers.
He did beat the Packers. They had, they ain't had nobody though. I said they was going to win.
Shout out to our good friend Jake, who worked at USC with us, who actually went to the game. I was messing with him Saturday while we was at USC. I said, you might just go see Jordan Love. He said, I'm okay with that. I don't know if he was going to see Tim Doyle, whoever was quarterback in the Lions. Yeah, I don't know if he knew he was going to see them beat them. Let me give you some Lion news. Anthony Lynn, who was their OC after his stint with the Chargers, he will not return in 2022.
Damn, that's tough, man. Because I used to I like to use his playbook in my Mad League. That's all I got for you, man.
And somebody is saying about Dan Campbell, went back and listened to Dan Campbell's introductory press conference, and he pretty much accomplished everything he said he was going to do in year one. This team took the identity of the city and played competitive football all year long. Well, I've never been to Detroit, and I don't want to go if they're going to bite my kneecaps and hit me in the
all right, bite the knee.
Hit me in the groin while they getting up. So if that's the identity of the city,
you got us.
Yeah. And people are
Dan
really
Campbell.
just another reason to be thankful for Dan Campbell today. Lion pride. What does this say?
Hey, bro, even if the Lions,
Matt Patricia got 2 division wins in 2.5 years in Detroit. Dan Campbell got there in 1 season with a far worse roster than Patricia ever had. So I don't know about all of that, but
hey,
yeah, I don't.
remember a few years ago you asked me who was the best Matt in the NFC North? Well, there's only one left.
Yeah,
There's only one left,
yeah.
dog.
They showed Matt Nagy the doormat that's way, Matt Patricia the doormat's that way, and only Matt left standing is Matt LaFleur. So since Matt LaFleur is the only person standing, let's talk about the playoffs though. And since he's in the NFC, let's start off with the NFC. You know, Matt LaFleur, the Packers, the only team in the NFC who don't play this week because they got the number 1 seed. I was talking with one of my good friends, Eyeball, on Sunday morning, talking about football, and I was telling him, we were talking about the Dallas game from Saturday, and I was telling him about how my confidence level was a 3 after last week against Arizona. And I was telling him just because they beat the Eagles 51-26 on Saturday night, that really didn't make my meter go up. It didn't make my confidence scale go up. So I was talking about teams who I would not rather not see. And this is what I said at 11 o'clock Sunday morning. I said I would rather not see the San Francisco 49ers. Then, by some twist of fate, as the day goes on, as Arizona loses to Seattle, as the Rams go up 17-0 on San Francisco to eliminate them, let them come back in. Deion Sanders wants to see more Hall of Fame NFL names become
head coaches in HBCUs to eventually get to top prospects and force the NFL to not ignore HBCUs. That's from Rada Reflex in the chat.
And I see that, and that's probably something real, and that's why I like Deion Sanders going back to the HBCU. But back to this Cowboy thing.
I do too. Jackson State been racking up recruits. Yeah. So I'm happy to see that. That's a good look too.
Yeah. But so I was telling him, I said, I don't want to play the 49ers. This is what I said early Sunday about 11 o'clock in the morning. I said, I would rather not Dallas play the 49ers.
The Deion Sanders Bowl.
And what happens? Down 17-0 with a playoff spot on the line, they rally and they beat the Rams in overtime 27-24. So now Dallas goes from the 4 seed up to the 3 seed, and guess who's the 6 seed? San Francisco. So I guess we're gonna start here. Like I said about this matchup, this is one of these. This is like I told my friend, Dallas plays a game where I've seen them beat themselves.
Are you right? You good?
No, I'm not all right. I'm talking with my hands.
You know, I'm nervous, dog.
I'm nervous.
Hell, man.
Because I know Dallas can beat themselves at times.
It's fun.
We saw it on Thanksgiving. We saw it on against the Cardinals. I mean, just penalties, idiotic penalties. I'm talking about pre-snap penalties that ain't even started. The play ain't even started. False start. They did that, and I told my friend they did that on the very first play against the Eagles. But you know what the difference? Know why they won the game? Because it was the Eagles. Zeke Elliott gets a 5-yard run to start the game. He had 2nd and 5, right? You're in front of the chains, right? Know what happened? Now what are you doing? Now it's 2nd and 10. Now you just made the whole.
Hey, that's like, Georgia and Bama had one like that last night, where like 3 dudes jumped, and it looked just like that. It looked just like that.
That was a Georgia dude. You know,
it looked like that, bro.
I do feel sorry for linemen that are like 320, 330 pounds, and they're trying not to move, and everybody gonna see you moving for a big ass move.
Tough, dude. Like people don't realize like that's hard for a dude that's like 300 pounds to squat. And then he got to stay still until the ball.
Quarterback want to change plays. Kill, right. Man, hurry up and snap the ball. He's like, hurry up and snap the ball.
Like, people don't realize, like, he literally can't move until the ball is snapped. Like, they don't understand. Like, it's not like, you know, he go forward. No, he can't move at all, or it's false start. Like,
the thing that scares me about the Cowboys and the 49ers are a very physical team. They can run on you. They will stick to the run. They'll be committed to the run. They got a couple of playmakers that they get the ball in their hand, they can go the distance, and Kittles and Samuel. People like picking on Anthony Brown, who is number 30, and the Cowboys have a tendency in these type of games, especially when they play against better competition, to beat themselves. The Arizona game, the Arizona game is fresh in my mind. Is scary. The penalties every time you get a 30-yard run, holding. Every time you stop them, it's 3rd and 7, offsides.
You know the game that got me. The game that got me most nervous for y'all. 19-9 against the Chiefs.
That game too, but it did and it didn't because I know we were kind of down with our weapons.
I hear you, but also at that point in the season, Kansas City's defense was getting the bag ran up on them like every week, and they kind of like used that win to like get right, and that's why Kansas City's the 1 seed or the number 2 seed in the AFC now. I thought that was the game that turned them around.
It's just I've seen us in games with good competition. We beat ourselves, and like I said, the Arizona game is a prerequisite. Going for it on 4th downs. I don't know what Mike McCarthy gonna do with that. I don't know if he's gonna call timeouts. I don't know if I'm gonna have Greg the leg, a goof ass Greg missing field goals.
Yeah.
And then like the penalty aspect, Chris, people don't realize situations in football. If it's 2nd and 3 and we got 7 yards, and then you guys have a false start, now it's 2nd and 8, and now I got Dak dropping back, and I got to worry about Bosa now. I got to worry about this pass rush.
Now you take the Zeke. Now you take the Zeke option and the screen away. So good luck.
So those are the things that scare me. And on the other side of the ball, we got to be able to get to Garoppolo. We got to have a pass rush, because if I see these past couple of games, if you don't get to Jimmy Garoppolo, he's got enough weapons out there to pick you apart. Ask the Rams. See what happened when they went on Cincinnati on the road. So this is a tough team that's been on the road. They played the Titans, lost to them on the road. Always got to play the Rams, the Cardinals. So they're not gonna come into AT&T with no fear. So Dallas is gonna have to be on their best behavior. And I hope
Rider Reflex. I see what you're saying in the chat, but I'm gonna save it till we get to the AFC because you got a lot of AFC heavy comments.
So I don't know if you want to pick this game now, but we can pick it later. I don't know.
I'll pick it. Cowboys. I got the Cowboys winning this one, man. I trust the linebackers. And my defensive player of the year pick, man, Trayvon Diggs. So I'm going with Dallas to beat San Francisco. I think they'll get it right against the Niners at home at Giro World.
I'm picking Dallas, but I'm gonna be very nervous about doing it.
I'm surprised. I'm so surprised that you picked Dallas. So surprised.
Dallas 30, San Francisco 20. That's where I'm at with it. Dallas 30, San Francisco 20.
Rider Reflex gives you a vote of confidence. He says Cowboys will win.
I don't know if that's a vote of confidence. He'll be the first one to post a meme and tag me in it after the game, and with 17 others try to talk about me. So I don't know how to take that. Let's stay in the NFC. Philadelphia.
E40 gonna be mad.
You silly. E40. You made me say E40. How about Philadelphia and Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay by 40. I don't care.
Philadelphia 0-6.
I don't even care, dude.
Philadelphia is 0-6 against all the playoff teams. Tampa Bay is the defending Super Bowl champions.
They gonna go 0-7. They gonna go 0-7.
Buccaneers expect to have Leonard Fournette back on offense. They also should have Shaquille Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul back on defense. You said this is gonna be a cakewalk.
This is the only game this week. Actually, no, I can't say that because Buffalo and New England I don't really care about either. But this is the only game in the NFC I really don't care about because I think Tampa Bay is about to dog walk Philadelphia. I would be surprised. Honestly, I'll be surprised if this game is within 2 touchdowns. I got Tampa Bay winning this like 40 to nothing. No, I'm not gonna say that. But Tampa Bay probably gonna win this like 33-3, dog. I don't see this being close at all.
I think the Eagles' only chance of keeping this thing close is running the ball and staying on the field.
What about Rouse option? What about
just forfeit? I mean, I don't like the Eagles, so I don't really care what happens to them. But I think they got to try to force a couple of turnovers. I don't know if they're able to do that. It's just Tampa Bay's time of year, right? So I think we're probably all going to pick Tampa Bay in this.
Man, I mean, I got them winning. It's them in Kansas City in a rematch, and I'm not going away from nothing I've been saying all year long. So I'm picking that till I can't pick it. So Tampa Bay, Kansas City.
Philadelphia hangs around for a little while, then they pull away. I'm going to give Tampa Bay 31, Philadelphia 14.
Be generous. He generous.
Jalen Hurts' first playoff game. Good luck with that. Eagles, Fletcher Cox, and I can't think of the guy's name, Tremaine, whatever his name for the Eagles. No, I might have to look it up.
I'm about to say Graham.
Number 97 for the Eagles.
97 Eagles. Tremaine, that is Malik Jackson.
Malik Jackson?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah, Malik Jackson. That's what it say on here.
Whatever it is, the middle, Fletcher Cox included, they're gonna have to get inside pressure on Brady and try to force something if they're gonna try to spring an upset down there. Monday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. Monday night playoff football.
I know,
where they
right?
do that
Monday
at?
night playoff. Right, when they start doing that, that's what I was thinking when I saw that. I was like, whoa,
well,
okay.
Here's the thing. It's kind of bad because they're gonna whatever team wins is gonna be playing on a short week, right?
Short rest. Yep.
Isn't that kind of suckful?
They play in the dome. Suck it up.
Yeah, all the NFC games.
Both of them.
Most of the NFC games are gonna be nice until you get to Green Bay. So here's the thing with this: both teams won at the other team's place, and now we get to a place where Matthew Stafford is 0-3 in the playoffs. Kyler, the creator, which I call Kyler Murray, has not played in the playoffs yet. So who do you trust? You know who I trust here? Who I'm going with?
Who are you going with?
I might go with the Cardinals in there. And you know why?
Why?
Think about all the pressure on the home team in this thing. The Rams and the Cowboys are almost mirrors of each other. They got big, nice indoor stadiums. Cowboys got McCarthy. Rams got McVay. And he's quarterback. And Matthew Stafford, I know you got Beckham, and I know you got Cooper Kupp led everybody and everything. And I know on the defense you got Bob Miller sacking. I know Aaron Donald's a monster. I know you got Jalen Ramsey. But Matthew Stafford is the one here. In the playoffs, if he gets off to, he's done some things lately. You know, the game on Sunday ended with an interception. He's looking at Beckham like, what are you doing? And the fans are looking at Matthew Stafford like, this the guy that's gonna mess up our parade here.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I know what you said early in the season. You can take Matthew Stafford out of Detroit, but you can't take the Detroit line out of Matthew Stafford.
Take the Detroit line out of Stafford. Take him out of Detroit.
I would feel comfortable picking the Rams to win this game if they were on the road. When you at home and you have a bad start and you got a team that's familiar with you like Arizona, and they go woo woo. Man. I don't know, man. I'm going with Arizona here in a close one. I'm gonna go with Arizona something like 26-21. I don't know, man. I don't know how much I can trust the Rams and Stafford. Think about last week. This was a big game to win the division. Even though they still ended up winning the division, they started off 17-0, and they just, I don't know. And here you go with another familiar opponent at your crib. It's gonna be geeked up. Everybody gonna be hyped up. Stafford gonna have a flashback to the D.
He might. Detroit flashback. He might. Yeah, he might actually.
I'm going 26-21, man. I'm going 26-21 Arizona.
26-21 Arizona. This is the game I'm looking forward to the most. One, because when they start doing Monday night playoff games, and
this year,
yeah, like one, I'm looking forward to that because when they start doing that, and two, I think this is probably the best matchup this week because one, like you said, divisional matchup, and really both of them. And I picked the Rams to go to the NFC title game and lose to Tampa, but I'm a flip flop right here, man. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals, man. I'm gonna go with Arizona to win this one. I like Kyler Murray. I like the defense. I think Chandler Jones and Watt will get after it. I think the Rams. I think basically, man. Yeah, man. Let me get the ones with the red on them, for Arizona. Go Cardinals, man. No, I'm gonna go with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, man. I think they beat the Rams. I think I actually totally agree with Ryder Reflex, man. He said Stafford's gonna have a flashback to the D, and I believed in the Rams up until like maybe November when I started seeing Detroit Stafford come back.
When you started seeing
I
him
was
throw
like,
these crazy
ooh.
passes against the Titans,
I was like,
when the competition
ooh.
started to elevate, when they went to play when they played at the Packers, when you saw them play San Francisco on a Monday night and couldn't get it done. You see them play last week. You saw them play against the Ravens and almost wet the bed when they threw another pick six, but the Ravens are so depleted they were able to come back. I'm going with the Cardinals.
COVID too hurt the Rams. That's really kind of what pulled them down. And then after that, I don't think they've really fully recovered. So I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Ryder Reflex said, "Put that Nike down. Grab a Gucci flip flop." Like I ain't got the Gucci, bro.
Man, you gonna have to help us out with some money.
Hey, I don't make Gucci money yet, dog.
Tell Ryder Reflex, send me some knockoffs or something. You gonna have to help us out with the bag, bro, before we get to buying Gucci slides.
Right, send me them Gucci's with the double B's, bro.
Tell Ryder Reflex, I have a child on the way. I can't be buying Gucci flip flops for myself. Can't do it.
Right.
Shout out to Future.
Right, highlight Future real quick.
AFC.
All right, real quick.
What's up?
Since we said AFC, let's get some questions. Let's get some things we ever said in the chat out the way. Since they are AFC heavy. In the chat, Ryder Reflex said the Colts had one job: beat the worst NFL team. The biggest choke job since me right now, really, but since Big Show choke slam Rey Mysterio. Hey, what was my upset in an upset special? What was my upset special last week?
They haven't won down there in 7 years, and you can't even count on Carson to beat the what? The list,
bro. 11.
You know what? In this market, I don't know. The Bears and the Vikings, the Bears-Vikings game was on, and the Jaguars and the Colts game was on. And I said, you know what? I'm not watching none of the Bears and the Vikings. This Jaguar-Colt game, this has playoff implication. I'm going to watch this whole game. And I have never been so amazed at some of the things that I was watching. Look, when they threw the bad snap to Trevor Lawrence, and he picked it up and still found Marvin Jones Jr. hit the back of their zone, I said, they're in trouble. These people in trouble. People in big trouble.
I feel for Jonathan Taylor, man. He had an amazing season.
Yeah, he had an amazing season. Don't get on that playoff. Don't hit some of that couch.
And I feel for Justin Jefferson. The Vikings should have threw the ball to him at least twice. Let him pass Randy Moss, dog. Come on. Let him pass Randy Moss, G. I don't care if the season is over. Man, get that record on the Bears. I don't care. I see we worth it. We worth it.
That was the most.
We worth this shit, dude.
Is that before we get to the AFC? Is that a fireable offense with people in the organization for the Colts for all the great things you did this year? You can't beat the Raiders at home. No offense, Roy. You can't beat the Raiders at home, and then you go on the road to Jacksonville, and you get stomped. You wasn't even that close,
man. 26-11, dog. And then also in the chat, Ryder Reflex said, well, of course he had to talk about the Raiders. You both know the Raiders versus Chargers is winning the SB for best overtime game this year and biggest nail biter. #no. #no because the fix was in. It like the fix was in that game.
I'm gonna tell Ryder Reflex this. What's up, Will?
What's up, Big Will from the meat market in the chat? We lit today.
What's
bro.
Beef?
We lit in the chat.
Hey,
right,
let me tell you something about the Chargers. I don't know what Ryder Reflex. I don't know what kind of. That's who we need to send some Gucci flip flops to Brandon Staley while he's sitting up on his playoff couch. He need his feet to look really good because I don't know what kind of coaching he was doing on Sunday night. You got to realize the whole thing at the moment. It's 20-14. It's 4th and 1 in the third quarter. And you gonna go for it? What kind of Madden bullshit is that? Then you lose 3 yards. Come on, man. I mean, really.
What kind of Madden bullshit is that?
Really though, right?
Yeah, no, really.
We now be getting to the end of the game, and you know what? I was waiting to hear both of the coaches' explanations about the end of the game because everybody in America's compare, right? The Steelers fans are going crazy in Las Vegas. They keep showing the Steelers fans. The Steelers fans are having quintuplets. You hear me? They are having quintuplets. They are stressed the F out.
Hey, bro, I couldn't think of nobody more on edge than Steelers fans at the end of that damn game, bro. It was funny, bro.
Jacobs gets stopped at, I want to say, at about the 41 or he gets stopped at about the 41-yard line. Okay. And at that point, the clock is ticking and ticking and ticking and ticking. It gets to 33. Brandon Staley calls a timeout. When everybody, now they asked both of the coaches about the timeout. Rich Biasha, the Raiders coach, said, yeah, we had thought about all those scenarios about the tie and both of the teams getting in. He said, at that point, we're not going to try a 58 or 57-yard field goal. So they was just letting the clock run. You know why Brandon Staley said he called the timeout?
Why did he call it?
I don't know what's in his cup. Maybe a little vodka, little Douce. I don't know what's in his cup. But he said he called a timeout because they wanted to get the right running personnel in. When the Raiders wasn't really trying to do much. So you know what Rich Biasha said when they called the timeout? He called the timeout, and we just happened to hit on the next run to play with Jacobs. Now when Jacobs go, he gets about 10 yards. Carlson has never missed in Las Vegas in his life. That's what you want to take gambling with you ever go to Las Vegas. Baby, I'm taking Daniel Carlson with us. I'm just letting you know. So he kicks a 47-yard field goal been better than 57. You got a better chance of making it. And plus, if you're the Raiders, how many times have you seen a field goal get blocked and ran back? You imagine
exactly
a tie would have got you to the playoffs. You try to kick a field goal and they get blocked and ran back. They're gonna rake you across the hot coals. They're gonna leave you in Vegas in the desert like a casino scene, like with Pesci and them or something. If you would have had that happen, but Brandon Staley called the timeout. Jacobs got 10 yards. They kicked the field goal. Steeler fans rejoiced. So did Raider fans. And Justin Herbert was just looking like this afterwards.
All right, our resident Raider fan, Rod Reflex, in the chat. You called a timeout in OT and pissed us off. We was willing to screw the Steelers, but they wanted to be slick. So in the words of Vince McMahon, the Chargers screwed the Chargers.
I mean,
shout out Landon Wooders too. Land Cruz the barber in the chat as well. We lit this morning.
What's up, Landon? What's happening? But man, that was crazy. That was just really crazy. Now let's get to the future. Raiders, Las Vegas, that is, at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Raiders talk about screwed on, talk about the schedule and stuff. The Raiders played the longest game, played an extra overtime period, and they got to play first.
They got to play first. They got to play
and
first.
You got to fly short week.
Damn, that's tough, bro.
I will say this though.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. Rod Reflex, you see me? 37-3 Bengals. Blowout.
I'm not saying. No. Here's the thing that you cannot. Here's the thing you cannot underestimate about the Raiders. The amount of intestinal fortitude and adversity this team has been through this year. You got John Gruden with all the email stuff. He gets fired. You got Henry Ruggs fatally striking a pedestrian, the DUI case. You got David. You got David
on top of taking one.
You got Arnett acting like he us, talking about letting the choppers ring literally on social media.
Oh man, dude.
And he's gone. But they have somehow fought through all of this. They win in Cleveland 16-14 when they get struck by COVID. They go win a tough game in Indianapolis. They win a tough game against Denver, and they win a tough game here against the Chargers. So I'm gonna say this about Cincinnati. Don't get out to no slow start at home. You know how the Cincinnati history is.
Don't do that.
You know how the Marvin Lewis and the Vontaze Burfict and all that regime went, and how they could never beat the Jets at home, couldn't beat the Chargers at home. Whoever was coming over, they were just beating them in the jungle. Do not get out to a bad start. Don't let the Raiders go down on the first drive and get points. Don't have no bad drops or nothing. No missed field goals. Karma in the playoffs. You got to realize about the karma in the playoffs.
Karma.
So, and with that being said, I'm going to pick the Bengals to win.
All that to pick the Bengals. All of that.
But it's going to be difficult. Bengals 24, Raiders 17, in a very good game. And the reason I'm picking the Bengals is, man, Joe Burrow's got a championship DNA, man. Something about the swag, something about the blue eyes and the cigar. It's like a Wall Street wolf type of thing or something, like a stockbroker or something that's just here to rip your heart out, though. But he's there to rip your heart out with Jamar Chase, with T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. Joe Mixon is going to be key in this game. They're going to have to run the ball. But I'm picking the Bengals 23-17. Rod Reflex says 35-10 ratings. Hey, Rod, Chris said 37-3. He's telling y'all just,
37-3.
if you're going to lose 37-3, that's why get on the
37-3
plane.
Bengals.
Why get on the plane?
37-3 Bengals.
Why get on the plane?
No disrespect to the Raiders because I like Hunter Renfrow and Kenyon Drake had them in fantasy.
I like Max Crosby.
I like Derek Carr, Waller.
You only like Max Crosby because I told you about Max Crosby.
Hey, that's cool. That's cool. But they about to lose. They have to lose this week, man. 37-13.
Not to be disrespectful.
All right, 37-13.
Oh. Okay.
Because I think they'll score more than Philly. So 37-13. I don't think Philly gonna score at all.
He's trolling you, Rob. Watch this laugh. Right? Watch this laugh. Watch this impetuous laugh. He's trolling you. Don't let him troll you.
37-13.
How about part 3 of the Patriots and Bills? First time Mac Jones threw the ball 3 times, 67% completion. They ran the ball down the throat on a Monday night and they beat them, right? Then the Bills come back, go to Foxborough, and they kill them 33-22. Now they're the champions of the AFC East. Patriots have lost. Patriots just lost. Well, they beat Jacksonville 50-10, but then they lose to Miami 33-24. So I guess they got the good part of Florida and the bad part of Florida in the last 2 weeks. Now they got to take on Buffalo in Buffalo again at night. The weather is not going to be good again.
At all. At all.
So now you have.
Hey, let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell you right now, Joe. This is the game for me. This is the game I'm most likely to miss because I'd rather be watching something else. I tell you this right now. I'm gonna be watching college basketball. I refuse to turn this on. I'm gonna watch the highlights.
I thought you weren't gonna see it because you was gonna be at work.
But I refuse to watch this.
Bill Belichick in the playoffs against trying to shut down Josh Allen. You don't want to watch this? Why? I don't know why you don't want to watch it.
Because I feel like this is gonna be a field goal fest and not like Alabama, Georgia. I feel like we might see a 12-9 finish in this game between Buffalo and New England. It might be a running fest for 3. Like you had Josh Allen airing it out, Mac Jones airing it out. But I feel like this could end up being a 12-9 finish, and it'll come down to the last kick. Regardless, I'm taking Buffalo at home, so I'm gonna go with Buffalo to win it.
I'm going with Buffalo 27-17 over the Patriots. Turnovers. The Mac Jones has, I think they don't have a good record when he has more than 2 turnovers. So they're going to repaint the field, paint gate. I don't know what that means. They got spray paint on them.
I think he's saying Patriots are going to win that. I mean, they're going to repaint Buffalo field.
I'm going 27-17. Here's the thing. They're going to try to run the ball again because it's going to be a night game in January in Buffalo. So it shouldn't be too different from the Monday night weather.
That's what I'm saying. 12-9 because it's going to be a running fest because of the snow.
I think Buffalo learned from that a little bit. If you've watched Buffalo the last 2 weeks, because I got Devin Singletary on my fantasy squad that just lost to Candace's daughter. So I know that they've been running the ball a little bit better the last 2 weeks. So I think they're going to try to take that same approach, but they got to do something here to slow down the New England running game this time. But I think they will. I think Leslie Frazier comes up with something. They get a turnover out of Mac Jones sometime there in the third quarter, something to really turn it, and they pull away. 27-17, Buffalo. Hello?
Yeah, I got you. I said 12-9. 12-9.
You say 12? You really said 12-9?
12-9. I'm so serious. 12-9. I think it's going to be a running fest because it's going to be snowing. It's supposed to be bad weather in Buffalo. It's going to be a snow. It's going to be a field goal fest. 12-9. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I ain't free.
Steelers and the Chiefs. How about the Steelers? Mike Tomlin was down. You see Mike Tomlin don't know what he was doing. Was he doing the giddy? I've been working on my giddy. The kids don't like it. I also got a I'm too sexy dance that I do also. They don't like it.
Too sexy.
Kansas City, Pittsburgh. We saw this about 3 weeks ago. It was 36-10. Kansas City winning there. Does Ben Roethlisberger have one last stand in him?
Well, he's going to have one more. Well, it's going to be his last one here because Kansas City about to roll them on their way back to the Super Bowl. Kansas City going to win this one going away. Roethlisberger, you know what? I take that back. Kansas City's going to win it, but Roethlisberger make it interesting in his last game as a Steeler. I think Pittsburgh will give him some effort, man. They'll make it. If they lose, it'll be like 21-17.
The only person I think can make it's two people that can make this game interesting. One person is Najee Harris on the side of the ball for Pittsburgh. The threat he can be running the ball and receiving the ball. And for the defense, T.J. Watt's got to come up with some sacks, some strip fumbles, something to make Pat Mahomes cough it up. Because other than that, nah. And Rodder Reflex, you think the Steelers owe y'all? You gonna have to take that OU. You have to take that OU into next season, bro. You have to have the trust issue because I don't think they're gonna be able to pay y'all on Sunday night. I'm going with the Chiefs. They get into playoff mode. You know how they are when they get into playoff mode. Going with the Chiefs 38-14 over the Steelers.
I don't know how they get when they get into playoff mode. If only Justin was here, maybe I could ask him. Oops.
Oh boy. There he is. Trinity Valley troll man. Chris Rouse.
Hey, bro, I ain't trolled Justin in like 5 months. Come on, dog.
Well, Justin hasn't been here for you to troll him.
Even in the chat, I don't be trolling him. What you talking about? You be sitting there coming at me talking about some. You'll never troll him no more. I ain't trolled just like 5 months.
38-14 Kansas City. Then just get at him. Just get a shot at him just cause. It's some unnecessary roughness on number 316.
Hey, shout out Justin, bro. Hey, the Texans did get 4 wins this year.
man, pick the game and leave Justin alone.
I said Kansas City, man.
What's the score?
24-17. I think Roethlisberger throws a pick on his last drive to steal the QB.
Ooh, that would be very close. That would have I have two of my best friends. One of them is a Steelers fan and one of them is a Chiefs fan. So I think I'm gonna call them Friday and just get their perspectives about what's going on.
All right, Kansas City 24-17. I don't think it's gonna be that close, but I think that would be the most fun outcome.
An abbreviated what's in your cup? Like I said, Brandon Staley, what are you doing?
Oh man.
You're going for it on 4th and 1 in a game that you got to win, and then you call it the inconspicuous timeout. You play for the tie. And both teams go to the playoffs. But you wanted to get you're a defensive minded coach, right? So you want to get your run personnel in. Yeah, run y'all ass to the playoff couch and watch what the rest of us did. That was ridiculous. Brandon Staley, what's in your cup? Joe Judge. Let me just tell you about. I really, really love my nephew.
But he's nephew, man.
He's got to stop this. You know, Giants fandom. You know, over the last 4 years, the Giants haven't had a winning record in no parts of any season over the last 4 years.
I do know.
They haven't been 1-0. They haven't been 2-1. They haven't been 8-7. They haven't been 6-5. They haven't been 4-3. They haven't been 3-2. They've always been behind. And now you have Joe Judge. Did you see the 3rd and 9 play against Washington when they did the quarterback sneak?
I didn't see it. That's okay. I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
They had the 3rd and 9 play when they had the quarterback sneak, and he went up there and said and went and spat some real terrible rhetoric about, well, we had problems with that last week against Chicago, so we didn't want the same things to happen. So, come on, man. Come on, bro. And then after that, and you still got to be in the cup. You clowned Washington talking about, well, this ain't no clown show. We ain't fist fighting on the sidelines and all this stuff. Talking about the Washington situation when they lost to Dallas. Then you go play Washington and you lose 22-7. Your offense is terrible. Your offense is offensive. Jason Garrett was hired to do the offense after you watched him in Dallas. Then you fired him, and your offense did nothing since then. So I don't know who's judging Joe. I don't know which GM gonna be judging Joe, but whatever GM is judging probably should call a U-Haul truck, tell him to pull up to his address, start getting that stuff up out his New Jersey home or wherever he's living at, because there's no way he can keep being the coach. But I need to know what's in his cup, man, because he talked a real good game, but the Giants were just terrible. They were terrible, just terrible as terrible can go. If the Lions play the Giants, I would pick the Lions, and I would root hard for the Lions to beat the Giants. The Giants are terrible, and Joe Judge is, I don't know.
Tell me how you really feel about them Giants.
The Giants are terrible. Here's a guy. Here's a guy off the Bill
Here's a
Belichick tree.
guy. Oh,
Here's a guy off the Bill Belichick tree, and he can't check Bill. He can't. He doesn't fit the bill, man.
Tough,
He
man.
he talks tough, man, but nah, man. Joe Judge, you ain't it. You don't know what's in this cup, and what's in the cup of the people who gave out the wrong shirts.
Yeah, that's by the way, that's the only what's in your cup I have. Who the hell was giving out the hats last night, bro? How you gonna give Georgia, Alabama hats, bro? If I win the national title, you better have the right logo on my damn hat.
Here's the bad thing. Georgia probably was so happy that they finally beat Alabama. They just thought the A was like a Braves hat. They just put it in the corner of the hat for them, whatever. So that was. Get me the wrong.
They probably thought it was a matchup hat. You know how like some of the hats had like G versus the G and the A, like, but it said national champions. G, like, how do you jag that?
They probably didn't even have no Georgia stuff printed. They probably even had their stuff printed out there.
I thought that for a second.
They probably just had a whole bunch. I got the Georgia stuff. No, we got it for Alabama. Just give it to them. They might think it's a lot on there.
Just give it to them. Ain't nobody gonna notice.
Oh my God. Sweet Mother Mary of Jesus.
I'm like, damn, you talk about a wardrobe malfunction, see?
Yeah, give us they shit.
Get a whole team Alabama hats, see?
Ridiculous.
That's tough, bro.
I mean, come on, man. Get it right. Some of this stuff we just need to get right. We need to get some of this stuff right.
So wait a minute, so what they gonna do with all them used Alabama hats? And you know,
I don't know. You probably. I think if you're an Alabama fan and you won the past couple of years, you see if you can take that 2 at the end of it. Is it good? You can take something gold or whatever, make it a 20 or whatever last year that they won or whatever. Can you cross that out and make it a 1? I don't know what you can do with it.
You can try. Like try to slice that little part off the 2, make it a 1, make it a 1 in the back part.
Or I just think you just send those things to all the homeless shelters across America. People don't really care what they wearing anyway, and just be like, "Hey, that's a bootleg Alabama 2022 national championship thing." Where you just trying to stay warm at that point.
My thing with that, like, I was trying to think, like, you think they still do that even with COVID? Like, you know, they still take people's stuff. I'm sure they do.
I don't know. They probably don't.
I'm sure they still do. But like, I wonder if there's like a process.
You just probably put it in a hot tub full of Lysol and Fabuloso or something, hot tub of Lysol and laundry detergent or whatever. And then I don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know neither. I'm just guessing. I'm just asking.
So I don't know how. You're talking about our chat still. Well, whoever's in the chat, you can thank them because the show is just.
Yeah, man. We had William, we had Will Clark in there. Landon was in there. Your sister was in there. Jeff Traylor showed up. Rod Reflex been in there. Showing out, yeah, we was lit this morning. There's a few other people who didn't. It was a few other people who was in there that didn't make themselves known, but it was good, man. That's all good. It's all good. Thanks for tuning in to Joe with Joe Morning Show, man.
Thanks for turning in on this football issue. We know the Bulls play tonight. We just ain't want to talk about them, and we know they're gonna win. Hopefully, we know USC won last night. We ain't gonna talk about them. We know Illinois play tonight.
What? Baylor. I'm convinced. I'm not picking them yet, but Baylor got me convinced. That dude, James Akinjo, is a beast. I like watching him hoop for Baylor, man. They might run it back. Baylor might run it back in college this year. Right. Don't quote me on that. Just saying they might do it. They got me convinced.
So I know we know we're not doing students of the game this week.
Yeah. Man.
What's up?
Throw that in there. R.I.P. Bob Saget. That comes from Rod Reflex in the chat, and also R.I.P. to Betty White as well. You know, me and my significant other, we watch Golden Girls often. So yes.
Okay.
R.I.P. to Bob Saget and Betty White.
Rest in peace to Bob Saget. Rest in peace to Betty White.
And Sidney Poitier too, man.
And Sidney Poitier also. Rest in peace, Sidney Poitier. Just having a lot of deaths here at the start of the year.
Hey, like this gonna be kind of dark. But I'm just starting to, you know, I'm 31. The older you get, you know, I'm starting to just realize the older you get, either you go or your heroes go. And I just feel like, you know, the heroes starting to go. So, you know, that's all. You just start to get to that point where your heroes start to go. That's all that is.
It's definitely what's happening, man. So, yeah, man. Rest in peace to Sidney Poitier, Bob Saget, and Betty White. And thank you for everybody for tuning in to this Joe with Joe morning show, football infused show. Also, Max Julian. Rest in peace to Golden Pimp, Max Julian.
Yeah.
Can't forget Max Julian. I mean, your woman chose me.
Right. Hey, shout out Nas's album Magic. I like it still. Just
Still
try to
beating
end
it.
it on something positive because that's a lot of death we just talked about.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So,
Hopefully, we have something positive to talk about next Monday or Tuesday after the playoffs. We'll talk about it, and we promise to talk about the Bulls. And we'll talk about who is hot in college basketball next week. We'll talk about Baylor and whoever else Chris Rouse whoever else he is convinced about.
all right, one more RP before we get out of here, because I mean, I feel like a big asshole if we didn't do this. Because I mean, the Raiders do play this week.
Mm-hmm.
And RP to John Madden, man.
Rest in peace,
that's the
John
reason why
Madden.
I love. That's why I love football.
The GOAT.
So I would feel like a major dick if I didn't mention John Madden. So RP to John
And
Madden.
see,
Man.
and all this stuff the Raiders going through. I mean, you got to remember when Walter Payton passed away, and the Bears blocked that field goal against Green Bay to win the game.
Packers, yep.
You better watch this John Madden thing going to the playoffs. We're talking about they're gonna lose 37-13, but we're gonna see what happens with that. So man, rest in peace, John Madden. Rest in peace, Max Julian. Rest in peace, Sidney Poitier. Rest in peace, Bob Saget, and rest in peace to the Golden Girl herself, Betty White. Yeah. I'm Joseph Gregory. That's Chris Rouse. Thank you for tuning in to episode 17 of the Joe with Joe Morning Show. Peace, love, blessings, everybody. Stay safe, and we will hopefully